Everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my experience working with the student and introducing the video responses in quizzes and tests. My name is Luis Bello. I'm a chemistry professor teaching here at the Norris campus. One of the issues that I have been concerned is about how to develop in my class the oral communication. And the reason for that is one of the skills that we want to develop in our student is how to communicate orally. And the first thing that I did in my class, in the face-to-face class, is to ask the student to come to the board, answering a problem, and then explaining the answer. But it's always the same as students. I mean, you probably cannot get all the class participating because there will be some of them that will be afraid to comment, even they know the answer, but they will not be able or they don't want to be, you know, in front of the whole class explaining something. So particularly if you are doing online class like I'm doing, it's even harder to have the student with the camera on because sometimes even the internet doesn't help. But also some of them want to keep their camera off and they don't make any comments when you do online class. So I decided to start with something different, like introducing in my class video response. So I will pose a question. Most of the time will be a theoretical question like explain the periodic table or how we organize the element on the periodic table. And they will start talking about that. Sometimes I will give them prompt. So I want them to talk about specific things, or sometimes it's just an open question. And the same happened when I introduced the class for the first time. I gave them like a 5 question and asked them to share their answer with the rest of the class. Like you have to say your name, you have to say your hobbies or your expectation for the class. So those are the things that I have been doing. So today I plan to talk about my experience doing that for almost already 2 semesters. I start on spring 2022 and then continue last fall. And then now keep doing that during the spring semester. Most of the questions that I assign to the students are 10-point questions. The rest of the question that I gave them is just 1 point. They can take the test out of the classroom and they need to have a camera and microphone for recording the video. This is more or less the rubric that I gave to them. I made that public so they know how to be how to present their video. It doesn't mean that I will follow strictly. It's like I'm very flexible with the rubric, but I want to give them like an idea how they are going to present the video. So that's my goal for today, sharing with you my experience, how to use this uh, tool for assess the student, not only the knowledge, not only the definitions or anything, but also to make them to orally present the answer for particular questions or topics. Why using video response? I think that they will make the student to feel more engaged, particularly the one online when they had to record their video, and sometimes they will need to rehearse and practice it before they submit their video. Also the motivation, because that will give them more incentive to participate in the online discussion, particularly at the beginning of the semester when they can see each other answer. Also, some students are better expressing orally than others, so that will support in diverse way to answer, and also facilitating the distance learning. Recording video to answer questions help them to personalize their presentation, to be more engaged, to have their self-expression, as you will see in some video that I will be sharing with you shortly. And also help me to assess the student if they want to, they really know the definition and they know they use the proper terminology to make a definition, and also the accessibility for the student and also the teacher. This is a typical question that I will post on Blackboard. Like this is question number 36. My questions always will be 30 something question on quizzes and tests, but one of the question will be 10 points, the rest will be one, and most of the question will be multiple choice, few question will be free response, and only one in every test. Let me make emphasis on that. Only one will be making a video. That will be 10 points to answer that question. This is another example of question that I gave to them for making a short video. But the difference between the previous one and this one is on this one I asked them to specifically talk in the video about a particular topic that I gave them. Like you need to name the technique that is represented by the picture. You also need to explain what is the main purpose of that technique, and also mention the parts, like what the name for the glassware you use. And that's one of the video that I assigned to the student. Let's see some of my student video. I just make a selection. It has too many video, but I make a selection of some of them. Let's start with the first one. What I want to share with you is how this student is using some different, I will call artistic way to answer the question. And that's for me something very uncommon because most of the time they just answer facing the camera, but this student decided to make a kind of more professional video. Let's play that.
So, in Dalton's theory, atoms were the smallest unit of matter, and it could not be divided. But later it was proven that atoms are actually formed by positive, negative, and neutrally charged particles. Now, with more observation, we know that all atoms of the same element are not always the same. Um, their protons might be the same, and that is what will make them the same element, but they can gain or lose electrons, and that will make them ions, or they can also gain or lose neutrons, um, and that would make them isotopes.
So that was an interesting way to present the topic. The second one that I want to share with you is, the student is in his bedroom, I guess, because the bed that I have in front. But this student particularly is always using a sort of whiteboard where he draw everything that he wants to talk about, and then it's like we do normally a presentation in class using that whiteboard. Let's play that one, and you will see how he addressed one of the questions I gave to him.
Okay, so the chemical um, process here is something called titration. We do this whenever we need to know the composition of a specific substance. Since it's pink, we can infer that it's an acid-base titration. So there is actually a basic substance here, and we are dropping a small amount of acid down into it, and based on the amount of acid that it takes to turn the base acidic, until it turns clear, we will know the composition of this base inside of the conical flask. The different sort of tools and instruments used here We got a green stand. That's a Bure. It's a conical flask. I guess you could technically count that on say an indicator. Um,
So this is another example. This student is just making a plain answer to a question by facing the camera. So he's not using any particular prompt to answer the question.
The reactant in this reaction is dihydrogen monoxide, which has one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms per molecule. However, there is one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms on the product side. As a result, the reactant side can first have a stoichiometric, coefficient added to it. It is 2. The reactant side then contains 2 oxygen atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms. To balance this equation, we can simply add 4 as the stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen on the product side because there are also 2 oxygen atoms there. Now, each side has the same number of atoms. As a result, we get a balanced chemical equation.
Okay, those are some sample of the video that I want to share with you to show you how the student use a different way to respond the question that I assigned to them. Now, let's talk a little bit about a survey that I assigned to the student at the end of the semester. That was the end of December, I think. And I was teaching 3 groups, 2 face-to-face and 1 online. And out of 52 students, 19 answered the survey. That was the result for the survey. The first question that I asked the student is, are you taking the chemistry online or in person? Because I want to know how many of the students were online and how many was in person. Almost half of the students for 2 different ways are answering that. So 10 online, 9 in person. I was kind of concerned about technical limitation, like I want to know if they have an internet issue, camera, computer. Is there was something limiting them to answer those questions? And most of them answered no, we don't have any limitation to make a video, to submit your video responses. Notice that I wrote audio because some students didn't record a video. They record an audio and you don't see their faces answering the question. That was one of the things that I noticed. Not all the students made the video for answering. The other question that I was really concerned about was, is there any personal or physical reason that you have for not submitting or recording a video? Most of them say no, we don't have any, but I noticed some students didn't ever submit a video they leave blank. I mean, they lost 10 points because never used that option for submitting any video. But most of them, they will say no. The other question I asked them, how do you like to use that kind of different question for grading your quiz or grading your test? Because maybe they like it, maybe they don't like it. So notice that most of them didn't like that way to be graded, because between passive and detractor, that will be 14. They say no, we don't like to answer your question using video. So this is something to keep in mind for the future, to see how I can improve that, or can I change something to help them to be more, positive to use those type of questions. The other question that I asked them was, how many, if you like or not, the number of questions that I gave you. Most of them say yes, it's okay. I only asked one question. So most of them will say, well, yeah, we like it. One question will be fine. And the other question that I want to make sure I get a good feedback or I get a feedback from them is about grading, because I assign grade and they can see if they got 10, 7, most of them get between 7 and 10. It's not like I fail anyone or give 0 for, well, if they don't answer with the video, I will give them 0, but if you answer, even if the video is not like a high quality, will never go below 7 if you submit a video. And most of them like it, so around 14 of them say yes, the grade was okay. How you would like to recommend the use of video to another instructor, professors, or anything like that? They don't like that. They don't like the idea of telling other instructors to use the video in class for answering questions. That's something interesting, I guess, because they are exposed to the, they have to explain, they have to answer. It's like being on the spot in public. Next question was, do you like to have more video on your quiz or tests? No, they say no. They don't want to have more. Just some of them were agree with one, but no more than one. So you can see the result here. 15 of them say no. And finally, as a conclusion, I want to say the following. I still believe that using videos in class for answering questions on quizzes and tests is a positive way to assess the student performance, and also that will give you more chance to really check if the students are the one doing the work, which is also something that we are always concerned, particularly when you are working online all the time. The student were that's one of the things that also helped me to decide. Encouraged me to decide about using this is because many students were against all the proctoring software that we were using, because the price, or because the internet connection, or because the privacy. Some students say that will be against their privacy, because you need to scan all the room and all these things. And they say, okay, let's then record whenever you are, record your answer, and you can use your phone against the wall, and that's it. You don't have to record the room. There are also something that I need to keep in mind when assigning that. If you notice, most of the video don't go beyond 1 minute, and I also encourage them not to make it like a really long one. Not because I don't want to watch or listen what they are saying, is because sometimes uploading to Blackboard can be a little bit challenging, because the internet speed is not always the best one. And I will continue using the video this semester. Actually, I'm doing right now. So let's see if the next survey, they have a very positive, or more positive answer to the way I was grading them using the video responses on quizzes. Finally, thank you for watching, and I want to leave with my email. I'm open for recommendation, questions, suggestion, anything you want, how to improve this way to assess the student. Thank you again. Have a good day.